It's beginning to look a lot like a goddamn white Christmas, bro. Hi and welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to another unedited Soulstone Survivors video. Soulstone Survivors. Soulstone Survivors video. It's always a bit of a hassle when you move your camera, of course, because you need to get it back into prime position, but I think this will work fine. How have you guys been doing? I've been doing amazing. I've been doing amazing in Soulstone Survivors because I finally cracked the code on how to achieve victories. And that's exactly what we're going to do again. Jump straight back in there with the Barbarian. Gonna go for the same old bleed build. Might be boring, but winning in games is not boring for me. So there you go. That's, pardon me. That's all the taking of responsibility you will get from me. For the rest of the video, it's no longer my responsibility whether you enjoy yourself or not, whether it's boring or not, even though I am like the only person providing anything that could be enjoyed in this form of content, because I mean, I'm providing all the commentary and the gameplay, so it's actually completely my responsibility. But if you disregard that small little detail and you sign the contract underneath right here, you actually agree to me not having to do anything at all for you. And that's the beauty of this YouTube thing, of course, you know. I don't have any obligations. I can do whatever I want. If I want to stop the recording right now and still upload this video as just something that is 3 minutes long, 1 minute long, I have a great sense of passing of time, by the way, then I can do that. Freedom. Ooh, here we go. I'm free to do whatever I want, you know, and you guys just have to sit through it and endure my bullshit. I'm gonna move away from this little entity over here for a second because he is annoying me. Let's try and get rid of this tower as quickly as possible, because I don't fancy always having to get out of 20 hitboxes, which is what's gonna happen now that these elites are here. I need to kill smaller monsters first and hopefully level up quicker so that I can still achieve another ability, because I am gonna need another ability before I actually get rid of all these enemies. Although, potency of the Scent of Blood, let's invest early into it. And if we now late game get a bit more attack speed, that ability is really gonna help us out a lot. Just apply a lot of bleeds, and then when the Scent of Blood pops, the Scent of Blood pops, when the Scent of Blood pops, we will be golden. A nice movement speed upgrade at the start. Me picking that is a sign of me being reformed and appreciating the utility and defensive upgrades in this game more and more. Throw X is not necessarily what we're looking for. I guess Bloodlust kind of is, but we're gonna need like an active damaging ability as well sooner or later, because otherwise I think we're not gonna be able to achieve greatness in this run. Especially not now that this rogue arcane weaver is here. I'm just gonna move out of harm's way for a second, retract into the corner, retreat into the corner for a second, and hopefully kill some easier enemies over here. But there's no enemies spawning because there's too many enemies on the screen already because of all these elites, so I guess that was no use at all. Just try and get in there, you know. Try. Oh. Don't get stuck though. You can get in there, but you shouldn't get stuck. That's not gonna help us out. Apply some nice bleed to these enemies, just slowly but surely. We have time, you know. We're not going for the achievements of the sub 12-minute victory. We're not going for endless mode. We're not going for overlord mode. All we need to do is survive and kill the enemies, and that's something we need to keep in mind. Don't pull any fancy tricks or try to pull any fancy tricks. All you need to do is play well and survive. That's all there's to it. I say as I get hit by like a Hiroshima quality of fucking mushroom cloud. Frequency of the Bloodlust, sure, that's gonna be fine, but we definitely need some additional active skills, otherwise it's not gonna work out. Keep on just slowly but surely dodging them. I feel like I'm playing League of Legends right now. Kiting the enemies. Played some League yesterday, 3 games. 2 games as the AD carry, which made me consider taking my own life. Ooh, Savage Strike, there we go. That's gonna help us out. Yeah. Now we're talking, now we're in business. Playing Marksman or AD carry or whatever you want to call it nowadays is the role I usually used to play always, but it's not that fun anymore, I can tell you that much. For multiple seasons already, we just get one shot by every single character on the entire map. So that doesn't make it so fun to play, because you don't feel like you ever have any counterplay to anything that's happening around you. You're just like getting influenced by the stream of bullshit on the map, and you don't have anything to stay afloat. You're just drowning immediately. Alright, we definitely need some more potency in this run. We need something crazy. We need like a body slam. We need like the flurry to apply bleed. We need a lot of things still. Ooh, there's some nice experience lying around here. That's going to be helpful. Some cast frequency. I guess Titan's Cleaver for now. But our range is not amazing yet. So increased potency again. I guess as soon as that ability goes off, we actually do get a nice attack speed boost if we would be able to apply some bleed to the enemies. Because right now we are staying too far away from them. Because there's too much to dodge. After those 2 games as an AD carry where I hated my own life though, I played the game as support and I remembered why I like League. Damn it. Excuse me. As long as you're not in the marksman role, you're not in the bot lane role, it's actually quite fun. But yeah, if you join a team of 4 people and they already all have their roles queued up and you see that the marksman is the only open role, well then you don't really have a choice now, do you? Unless you consider not playing League with them as a choice, but that was not really the choice I had at that moment because I wanted to play some League of Legends. I wanted to play it with my buddy, and my buddy was already playing with his buddies. So, long story short, I had no chance of doing it otherwise. Bladestorm has always been our friend the last couple of runs, so I'm gonna make sure that I try to rely on it again. A larger area is gonna help us, and a larger area is gonna help us yet again. Especially now that we have the Bladestorm, because we wanted to immediately, as soon as possible, cover the entire map, of course. And now let's... yeah, there we go. There we go, that's what we need, what we're gonna replace. I think we're gonna replace Titan's Cleaver. Look at all these elites, man. They have been here for hours already. We just can't get rid of them. Damage increase for our empowering skills. That's something that's going to be really helpful. And now what we need is we need to apply bleed, really. Area effect of lasting. Central blood, Bladestorm, sure. Critical power, that's going to help us out a lot. Hopefully, if we do crit a lot. Oh yeah, we're finally getting rid of some of these enemies. Applying some fragility is also going to help us out. That's a lot of experience. Applying poison. More area. Oh yeah. Yeah. Applying bleed. It's all coming together. Frequency of the bloodlust. Make sure we get out of here in time. Even more critical damage. Alright, now I think we're off to the races. I think now we can finally do something. We can kill some enemies without having to worry about dying every single second. And here we go. Great timing, of course, because the lords are here. So now we have to have some survivability and some capacity of killing enemies, of course, because otherwise the run will just end right here, and that's not what we want. What do I have planned for today? Thank you so much for for asking. I'm gonna go to a restaurant with my girlfriend together. A nice little date. It's gonna be very, very fun. It is with a gift certificate from my parents from like a whole while back, from almost a year back, and we're finally gonna eat there, and it's just gonna be really a lot of fun. Another great sign of your relationship still being on point, you know, if after 6 years you still get excited to go on a date together. I think I'm being a bit cutesy, maybe. I'm maybe playing it a bit cute to win some of the public approval. People watching these videos are gonna be like, oh damn, he's a good boyfriend. But it's true. Yeah, it's true. Still look forward to it very much. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, it is quite sad that it's with my girlfriend, but otherwise... He's back. There's Onkruid again. There's that good old misogynistic humor we love and we adore. Which is another point of humor, by the way. That's even more parody, because we don't adore misogyny on this channel. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I love women. I wouldn't consider myself a feminist per se, I think, but I would consider myself an ally, you know? I would love for women to have all the rights they deserve and to have just a nice life, if possible, yeah. And for that matter, all women around the world deserve that, I think. Which is not really... Oh, there we go. First revive popped. Not dodging in time. Which is not really a controversial opinion, I think, or I hope so at least. I hope a lot of people actually think of it that way. But I'm afraid some people, and especially in some countries, it's still... is not seen like that. Damn, I have it bad today for some reason. Or well, not necessarily today, but as soon as I started recording, I am of course putting a bit of a strain on my speech production system. So I guess it's not too crazy that it kind of involves some more coughing than normally, but still, it's quite sad. I'm still looking for some abilities, right? I'm still looking for Flurry, for example. Didn't find it there. Area effect on the body slam is gonna be nice. Maybe we should also invest in some max health upgrades, because I feel like our body slam is not yet doing that much. Our multicast potential is already quite high up there, it seems, from like a first glance. That's kind of all the potential that seems to be up there for now. Sure, we're killing the odds quite quickly because of our Blade Storm, which is one of the best odd killing abilities out there, I think. But the Lords, no, we're not. And we're taking a hell of a lot of damage. It's not looking so good, actually. We're not looking so hot. We're not doing so good. There we go. That's how we need to dodge that Lord's attacks. When now the other people are already here. Another thing I wanted to try in this game, because well, I played some runs off camera to try and achieve the victory that we were hoping for. And I played some minion builds with the Necromancer. I leveled that guy up his prestige level to unlock another skill that summons minions. And I played some minion builds again, because it has been a while since I had done that. And they were still as efficient as ever, to be honest. I'm talking about skeletal archers and stuff, for example. Still very, very much capable of taking down enemies in a quick fashion. And additionally, the lords and stuff, they focus your minions. They don't chase you all the time, because they also want to kill your minions. So your minions can kind of tank for you. And that is very, very handy, actually. So maybe that's another type of build I will look into to see whether that can achieve victory as well. Something I might possibly do off camera, but I'm not sure about it. I think our main problem right now is that, ooh, that's nice though, is that we invested way too much, as I just did it also, by the way, into the passives, into Scent of Blood and Bloodlust, and not enough into actually having those passives empower something damage dealing, you know? Although we just got some nice upgrades. That's our second revive popped. So if we can now are we doing damage now? I feel like we are now doing quite a lot of damage, actually. So if we can now just survive long enough for actually everything to fall into place and our build to function like we want to, I think there's some potential here, but it's not as potent as the last build we achieved victory with in Soulstone Survivors in this series. Definitely not. That last build was really more of a shredder and I felt comfortable all the time. This time I'm really struggling a lot still. I'm gonna get rid of this. Applying some poison is gonna help us out. I feel like we also didn't focus on those kinds of upgrades enough that make us apply negative effects to the enemies. If we would now get Debilitating Plague, where the poison and darkness would interact with each other, would intertwine, I think that would really lift this build up off the ground, send it to space, make Elon Musk proud. Although I don't think that's necessarily something you want to achieve at this point in time. I don't think anybody really cares about Elon Musk's approval. I think Elon Musk does care a lot about our approval, though, that's for sure. Considering his outrage, or not really his outrage, but kind of his silent breakdown on Twitter, if you will, after being booed off stage at the Dave Chappelle show. It's crazy. It's crazy when you're a billionaire, you're such a powerful person, you own Twitter, you own Tesla, you own SpaceX, and you still care about the public approval so much. It kind of shows you that kind of pierces the veil. Oh, I'm glad I was able to use that expression there, because I think it's a very beautiful illustration of what I want to say. It pierces the veil of this idea that money makes you happy, and I think to some extent money definitely makes you happy, but that money also buffers you from all experiences that would normally make other people unhappy, because that's not true in the slightest, I think. You can have all the money in the world and still human connection, being appreciated by others, being accepted by others is going to be important to you. I think there's a beautiful message in there somewhere. But Elon Musk is also just a bit of a weirdo now, isn't he? If you're Dutch and you want to learn more about Elon Musk and his antics, you can always listen to Van 2 naar 1, the podcast I have with my buddy Berglucht. Of which we really should record another episode because it's been like months already, I think, again. We have a podcast episode on Elon Musk and on all the crazy things he did, like open a nightclub in his college dorm, I believe. If I remember that correctly. Uh-oh. Alright, we put ourselves in harm's way a bit there, but we got out of it. We need to, I'm afraid to say it because it's gonna definitely mean the death of us, but we should really be closer to the lords if we actually do want to get rid of them. Our range is just not far enough to stay so far away. So we just need to circle in there a little bit, you know? Get to know them a bit better. What are their hobbies? What's their favorite color? I don't know what my favorite color is, to be honest. I'm kind of circling between blue and green, I think. But I also... we're stuck. I love a good black... Oh, here we go. A good black and white contrast, you know? I think... But that's such a, like a hipster kind of weird answer to give. What's your favorite color? Oh, my favorite color is actually when we combine black and white to make beautiful images. No, that's like lame as hell. And it also is kind of counterintuitive to what I normally tell all people, because I normally tell all people that I really love pictures with color way more than black and white pictures. But in pictures and paintings, I think it's different. Then I don't like just black and white things. But in like drawings and stuff, I think just black and white drawings are definitely my favorite drawings, because I think they require a lot more skill to actually, pardon me, show you what the drawing is. They only have two elements. They have light and darkness. But this is something we have been talking about a lot on this channel lately. Damn, my throat is really killing me. I thought I was the throat goat, but nothing is further from the truth. You know what I also did yesterday? I installed World of Warcraft again. I'm gonna try to level up to level 20 because that's always free on WoW, and see if I enjoy it still. I'm probably not gonna buy any game time, but I want to experience it again. I haven't played yet because the download was finished at like 1 in the morning yesterday. That's when I went to sleep. And funny story, by the way, I told you that I wanted to leave my computer on and have all the videos render and upload and stuff. That process was still going once I woke, when I was waking up. So in the morning, it still had to upload some videos for like an hour or two, even though I had been asleep for like 8 hours almost already. So that's why it takes a while to actually get the videos up there in time. Damn. Especially when you are working 2 jobs and you have to go to other places as well in the meantime to meet up with friends and stuff. It's not that easy. Still trying to make it work though. I've not given the question of which class I'm gonna play any more thought yet, but I think it also doesn't matter when you're just making a random character that you're gonna level up until level 20, because I mean you're just trying to have a little fun for a second, right? I believe we can still do it with this run, but we're gonna have to play really well and just dodge every single attack of every single enemy. And I feel like the elites that are always the bane of our existence are also almost spawning, the guys with the large hitbox that you need to dodge in front of them. Which is also not gonna help us out, of course. There we go, another boss bites the dust. Talking about bossing, yesterday evening I spent a whole while watching my buddies clear a raid in World of Warcraft, and it was so awesome. It was like I was watching esports, but I knew the people that were actually playing it. And that made it a lot more fun. And most of the time, at the start of watching them, I had absolutely no idea what was going on. But by the end of it, I could tell them like, oh yeah, this mechanic, and your healer died, you need to make sure that you battle res already. Oh, the boss is at this much %, alright, the ads are here. I started to learn the boss mechanics even while I was not playing myself. That also got me quite hyped to play something, but that's of course not the type of content I will ever get to with just getting to level 20. And here the elites are. Alright, now it's focus time for a second. Make sure that we don't get smacked. Try and get rid of some of these towers, because there's quite a lot to dodge on the ground already, and I can miss these purple meteors. I would rather not have them. Have you guys been playing any MMORPGs lately? Are there any RuneScape players in here? Because that immediately earns you 6 respect points. Or if there's any WoW players in here, alright, that's also respectable. Any Guild Wars players in here though? Ooh, you can place your cock and balls, like with the entire piece of testicles already included in my mouth, man, because you're a legend. Amazing game, Guild Wars. Guild Wars 2, that is, of course. I've never played Guild Wars 1, but I believe that a lot of people appreciated Guild Wars 1 as well. Some people even thought Guild Wars 1 was better than 2, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I don't know about that, so I can't really talk about it. I fucked myself completely by getting myself stuck there. That's not the type of things you want to do 17 minutes into a run. I can hardly see what's going on, even really, to be honest. No, no, we did it again. That's the end of us. That's the end of us, for sure. Not for sure, but that was too close for comfort, if you ask me. Before starting recording this video, I watched an interesting video by James Schultz, the YouTuber with, I think, the craziest hair on the platform. His hair is just like, it's a menace, I think. But he has interesting content. He is a die-hard study enthusiast. So he always uploads like, oh yeah, I studied for 12 hours. Which is maybe not necessarily the best approach. It's more an approach that people that fear failure use most of the time, I think. But either way, it's interesting content. And he just uploaded a video about like how to study effectively. And it was very interesting. One of the first tips he gave was clear your surroundings. Make sure, for example, your phone is not within reach or within your sight, because you will reach for it, you will look at it. You think that it's just to check it for a second, but then all of a sudden you lose multiple hours. Alright, well, god damn it. I'm gonna throw up on camera one of these days. Thank you very much for watching. Didn't get it clear in the end, but we got quite close. I hope to see you in the next one. I'm gonna give it an off-camera old college try for now, because my throat is just killing me, so I don't want to have to cough for another entire video, and then hopefully in the next video I can include a little screenshot of my victory. See you later, bye bye.